everybody, it's your old pal, the History Nerd. I am back in the man cave, and in this video, we are going to unbox and review the Stetson Aficionado toquilla palm straw Panama hat that a professional delivery driver placed upon my doorstep with great delicacy mere hours ago. So let's quit the pud punching and get busier than a stump-tailed cow during fly season. As I begin to open this box, let me tell you why I ordered this hat. I live in Alabama. It is only June, and my friends, it is already hotter than a goat's ass in a pepper patch here in Alabama, and it's just gonna get hotter as July and August are around the corner. So I decided I was going to buy a higher end, nice looking Panama hat that I can wear during the dog days of summer, and I decided upon this Stetson Aficionado. But because I am the history nerd, it would be remiss if I did not start this video by giving you a brief background on Panama hats. It's not going to be long. I'll just give you the high points. It's pretty obvious. You can probably guess where the hats were created and invented and where they're made today. Because of their name, of course, the Panama hat originated and is made today in, you guessed it, Ecuador. So if the name is the Panama hat, why in the blue hell does it come from Ecuador? Well, let's explain. The Panama hat has been made in Ecuador for centuries because of the toquilla palm plant that is indigenous to that country. The leaves of it, when dried, are very easily woven. So centuries ago, Ecuadorians, Incas, I guess, I don't know, pre-Columbians, I'm no historian on Ecuadorian history, but prehistoric Ecuadorians started using palm fronds from the toquilla palm tree to make headdresses and war bonnets and the stuff that natives wore back then. And come around the 16th or 17th century, when the Spaniards came into the picture and the conquistadors entered Ecuador, they began making something resembling the Panama sun hats that we know today. There's paintings and murals from back then that show conquistadors wearing something that looks just like a Panama hat. Now, as the centuries progressed, they kept making the hats, which were not yet known as Panama hats. But as trade became more common, the Ecuadorians wanted to sell their hats to a worldwide market, but Ecuador at the time was not on a well-trafficked trade route. So what they did was they sent their hats to the nearest country that did have aggressive trade, which was Panama. And because the hats were sent around the world from Panama, they became known as Panama hats. And let's face it, folks, Panama hat sounds a lot cooler than Ecuador hat. Hey, that's a nice Panama hat you got on. Thank you. Thank you. It's a very nice compliment. I like my Panama hat. Sounds a lot better than, hey, I like your Ecuador hat. Thank you for complimenting my Ecuador. Ecuador just doesn't sound cool. Like in the 1980s, folks, I wanted to wear a 3/4 sleeve Panama Jack shirt when I was in high school. I didn't want to wear an Ecuador Jack shirt. So that brings us to today, where Panama hats are still made in Ecuador, and it is a major trade there. They have coastal palm tree farms in Ecuador that grow palm trees specifically for the hat making trade. So they can harvest the leaves and fronds from the palm trees and use them to make hats. And the hats are hand woven today, and it is a skill and talent that has been handed down for centuries. The same folks weaving hats today are descendants of the people who wove hats back in the 17th century for those conquistadors I was talking to you about. So, now that we've got the box open, let's take a look at what's inside. Here is my invoice I ordered it from a place called Muldoon's Menswear. They have a store on eBay. And I think I paid 125 bucks for this hat with free shipping, if I remember correctly. So here's my invoice from Muldoon's. We have an inner lid. I love it when they send a nice hat box because I store all of my hats in the top of my closet or under my bed. In the summer, straw hats go in the top of the closet, felt hats go under the bed, switch them out during the winter time. So this hat will be stored in this box. We will unwrap the plastic here, take off the foam, toss this hat box aside, and put the hat down, and here is what we have today. There are 3 common forms of Panama hats today, made out of 3 different materials. One is the lower end are made from shantung straw, or what's called toyo straw. And as I've talked about often on this channel whenever I've unboxed a shantung straw hat, shantung straw is not straw. It is actually pressed paper, high-end paper. Toyo straw is kind of low-end. Bangora straw is paper straw that's the absolute bottom end. But the paper is pressed together very tightly, cut into strips, and then it is woven into a hat. So if you have a shantung straw hat or a toyo straw Panama hat, it's not made of straw, it's made of paper. And we'll talk about that more in a little while. The next level is probably your palm straw Panama hat. I reviewed a hat called the Stetson Rushmore. That is a palm straw Stetson Panama hat. It is a good hat. It's the kind of hat you can wear it in any weather. You can wear it in rain. You can wear it in sun. Palm straw is a very hardy material. As I said in my last video, I went to the June Jam, which is the all-day music festival that the country supergroup Alabama puts on in Fort Payne, Alabama. Rained like hell all day. I wore a palm straw cowboy hat. I was dry. The hat was great. Palm straw is a great material, but it doesn't look very fancy. Kind of the high end of Panama hats is toquilla straw, made from the toquilla palm fronds that are indigenous, as I said, to Ecuador. Toquilla straw is kind of the apex predator of Panama hats. And that's what this Stetson Aficionado is. This is made from toquilla palm straw. Now, this hat cost me $125, as I think I said. And you may say, 125 bucks is pretty big for a hat you're just going to wear in the sun and sweat in. Toquilla straw is the high end of Panama hats, but $125 toquilla straw hat is the low end of the high end. There are toquilla straw hats. You can go on Google and look. There are toquilla palm straw hats handmade that will cost you thousands of dollars to purchase because they're made specifically for you. They're custom. The weaving is so intricate. I have a gal friend whose husband is a well-to-do doctor type. And she told me that he paid $600 when they were traveling abroad for a toquilla palm straw Panama hat. Now, my friends, I like hats. I love hats. I have a dadgum YouTube channel dedicated to hats. I would not pay $600 for a Panama hat. And I would not advise you to pay $600 for a Panama hat unless it is made by big-breasted supermodels who let you go motorboating while they are weaving your hat. That's the only time you should pay $600 for a Panama straw hat. Now, I do not know if my gal friend's doctor husband got that motorboating deal when he bought his hat, but I do know that the bro code prevents me from asking him about it in the presence of my gal friend. So anyway, this is the Stetson Aficionado. This is hand woven in Ecuador. Made from the toquilla palm. Stetson has people, they hand wove every bit of this hat. Some Stetson hats are machine woven. This one was hand woven in Ecuador by those people I said who've been doing it for centuries. And then they are sent from Ecuador to Mexico, where they are then blocked and finished. So anyway, let's now take a look at the Stetson Aficionado like we do with all the hats. It is a gorgeous hat. I can tell you that just upon first glance. It has a 4-inch crown and I believe a 2.5-inch brim. I've got a cheat sheet. Yes, it is a 2.5-inch brim. It's got a grosgrain ribbon. We have talked lots of times about grosgrain ribbons. All grosgrain ribbon means is it's a textured ribbon and it has vertical lines that go through it. It's got a grosgrain ribbon and it has a Stetson hat pin on the hat band. We will flip onto the inside. This hat, unlike a lot of Stetson hats, this is a higher end hat, but it has a cloth sweatband, not a leather sweatband. Why is that? This hat was made to wear in hot, humid, tropical climates, which I promise you, Alabama is a hot, humid, tropical climate. So it's made to absorb sweat. You don't want to have a leather sweatband where a lot of sweat will just drip down. It's got a cotton sweatband. It's got a Stetson label in the back, sewn in the back of the sweatband. It's got a size sticker. Now this hat does not come in 7.5, 7.25, 7 5/8, 7 3/4. It comes in small, medium, large, extra large. And thankfully for me, because I have a giant head, we've said many times I wear a 7 3/4 size. This one comes in double extra large. There's a lot of Stetson hats that I would like to buy. I see them all the time and I click on them and they only make them up to extra large. There are very few Stetson hats that are made in the double extra large size that my giant head requires. And luckily, this beautiful Stetson Aficionado is one of them. It's got an import-export stamp inside. I guess because it goes from Ecuador to Mexico to the US, it's got some kind of import-export stamp. And it's got the label that I always make fun of that says, wearing this hat, according to the state of California, will cause cancer and reproductive harm. So if you wear this hat, be forewarned that your body will break out in tumors and your nuts will just quit working. They'll dry up, turn to dust. That's what's going to happen to your nuts, according to the state of California, if you wear this hat. Now, it also notes that this hat is the color known as putty, Where Stetson gets the names for their colors of their hats, I don't know. This hat is called Putty. And this hat also comes in another color that's a little more gray-brown that's called Wheat. So I liked the Putty better than the Wheat. This hat has another feature that I want to show you that I think is fantastic, but to show you this feature, I need to pull out another Stetson Panama hat that I have in my collection that I have previously reviewed as well. This is the Stetson Adventurer Panama hat made by Stetson. Aficionado is a $125 hat. This hat's a $65 hat. But let me tell you, the difference in quality between this hat, which is a good hat, I wear the crap out of this hat, and this hat far exceeds the $60 price difference. Let me tell you why. First of all, this hat is made of Shantung straw, and remember that means it's paper. This is a paper hat, y'all. I wish you could feel how flimsy and lightweight this hat is, which is good if you're going to wear it when it's hot outside. But it is a very lightweight, flimsy hat as opposed to this one, which is much more substantial. But the neat thing about this hat, they both have teardrop crowns with a pinch front on them. And lots of us who wear hats, when you wear a hat that has a pinch front, when you take off the hat or put on the hat, I just did it. I try not to. I try to train myself not to. I just got caught doing it. How do you put on and take off your hat? You do this. You grab it by the pinch front and you use it kind of like a handle, right? Well, what I try to do is what I just did. I take it off by the brim, I put it on by the brim. Sometimes I will grab it by the front and back of the crown and put it on. I do it with all my hats because otherwise your hat's going to wear out here. But that's what happens with this. With a Shantung straw paper Panama hat, especially if it's humid, if you've been sweating, if you continually grab it in the same spot and take it off and put it on. Remember in elementary school when you were learning to write and you would make a mistake and you would get your a big eraser on that big giant pencil they made you use when you were learning to write, and you would erase and you would keep erasing in the same spot? What happened to your notebook paper? Got a hole in it, right? Well, on a paper hat, if you keep using the same spot to put it on and take it off, it's gonna put a hole in the hat right here. Happens all the time. Especially it's a $65 hat, folks. It's not very durable. So to prevent that from happening with the Aficionado, what Stetson did is they incorporated this thing that looks like a diaper. Looks like those men's underpants you see advertised on TV these days. Can you believe the crap they advertise on TV? You know, back when I was a kid, when they had like the feminine hygiene products, they would talk about, oh, you can go swimming, you can go horseback riding, but they never actually said why you couldn't do those things otherwise. I watched one the other day, a daggum feminine hygiene commercial came on. The woman was talking about gushes. I mean, good Lord, people, I'm a 55-year-old man. I don't need to hear some woman talking about gushes at her time of the month. But anyway, this looks like those underpants that they advertise on TV now that hold your boys real well, that are specially made to cup your, you know, to cup your nuts for you. So this diaper looking thing, they've built it into the hat. So when you wear this $125 hat, as you take it on and put it off, you're not going to put a hole here in the hat, which I think is great. So just looking at these two hats from my perspective right here, y'all, I'm going to put some pictures up on the TV that's got some side-by-side comparisons. The weaving on the top of the hat, the weaving on the brim of the hat. This hat is head and shoulders above this hat, and as I said, this one is just $60 more. $65 Stetson Adventurer, $125 Stetson Aficionado. But y'all pony up the extra 60 bucks because the difference in quality is fantastic. So that's where we've got that. I guess the thing I've got to do, and I kind of spoiled it just then, demonstrating the little hat diaper they put on the inside of the hat. This is the part of the video where I try on the hat. As I say every time, I can't see myself with my setup here. So when I put this hat on, if I look like a pluperfect idiot, you're going to know that I look like an idiot well before I know that I look like an idiot, even though I did a spoiler without giving you a spoiler alert earlier when I put the hat on. So anyway, here we go. We will put on the Stetson Aficionado. Y'all, it is a hair too big. I'm going to have to put a sizer in this hat. It is just a scotch too big, but it feels good, and by God, I hope it looks good. I hope this hat makes me look as cool as the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King leading a protest wearing sunglasses and a straw hat. And it does not make me look like that little fella from the Gay People for the Straight People show, where that group of gay hombres go out and do makeovers for big goofy looking old guys like me. He's got a Panama hat on at the Preakness or something. Looks just damn stupid. But God bless him. Thank you, gay man, for doing old guy makeovers. I need to be on that show probably. God bless you, brother. You be you. So anyway, that's it, folks. That is our video. I want to end this video by asking you to do the same three things I always ask you to do. Give me the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so the next time I fire up the old YouTube gizmo, you will be among the first to know. Y'all, this channel is growing by leaps and bounds. If you told me the first time I sat my fat ass on this couch and made a video about hats, that I would not only have a channel that was monetized by YouTube, but it's a channel that pays for the hats that I review for you guys, I'd have said, you're out of your cotton picking mind. But that, my friends, is what has happened because y'all are devoted viewers. I appreciate you so much. We're closing in on 5,000 viewers. And like I said, you know, compared to a lot of channels, 5,000 subscribers, I mean, is nothing. But to fat dude sitting on the couch, 5,000 subscribers is pretty daggum good. I think we got about 400,000 something views on the channel. So I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm going to close by wishing you the same three things that I always wish you. My friends, be good, be well, be happy. And if you happen to run in to the little gay dude with the funny looking hat that I showed you a picture of earlier, tell him that you know a friendly and genial fat guy who could sure use one of their gay dude makeovers. Send them my way. My friends, God bless you. Goodbye. We'll see you next time.